need to launch the F me. I need to launch the chat so I can see what people are saying. If not, there's really no point.
Yes.
Wait
Venus.
Okay, shit, how do I...
Oh, Taipei Assassins says it's stream ready. Nice luck.
Chat.
Good morning to you.
Okay, here's me. If anyone's watching, just want to turn on the chat first. Chat, pop out. And for our reference, we'll have the... Means it didn't send. Okay, alright, so... hair's in a mess. Okay, anyway, so this is the first episode. Okay, this is quite weird because I never looked at the webcam before like this. Anyways, the first episode of Behind the League. Today, I'm joined with Josh.
Hello.
Yay. Yep. So you know, we've been casting together for some time. We've always been friends for a good amount of time, and yeah, I know we look like shit because Sunday mornings. So anyway, today we're gonna be talking a bit about some stuff which has happened across the week, basically GPL analysis, and also try to bring some depth to what's been happening, because you know, as we go on the fly and watching these games, sometimes we tend to just cut short our analysis. There's really no time and space for you to sit down there and keep talking about that one play. So I decided, hey, what the hell, we're gonna create this segment, this show, or make it a bit podcasty, a bit, I don't know what it's really called, but sort of experimental
but
shit.
Viewers,
yeah, but it's for everyone out there who actually...
Shimmy.
Okay, so yeah, and we're a very low budget production. So let me clarify, we are very low budget. All I have is Photoshop, myself, and XSplit. And yeah, so that's how it's gonna work out for now lah. If you guys have any comments, you can always leave it in the comment section, because I'll be monitoring that.
Which is empty now.
It's empty now lah, but we'll be monitoring this from time to time. Okay, so what's that we're gonna talk about first? Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna show you some clips from this week's GPL, which I thought were pretty interesting to watch, especially the AHQ TPA match, because that was quite a turnaround actually by TPA. Yeah, they are very good at farming still. You know, despite being behind that one inhibitor, they actually were still pretty much on par with farm.
They're Asian, what do you expect?
I mean, AHQ is Asian too,
Oh,
and we are Asian as well, but we not as epic as they are.
maybe they were in the countryside and then
They were in the countryside and they couldn't do anything about it.
they grew up farming and growing corn.
In a cornfield,
Yeah.
in a cornfield.
That's why they're good at farming.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go into the clip, and I'm gonna break it down slowly and surely. Given that I don't have the replay files, I'm using the YouTube versions of them.
It's cheapskate, but
Yeah, but I think it'll work. Okay, so now with whatever knowledge I have of XSplit with me, let's try do not show my Facebook page. Yes, okay, show this instead. Yay!
Oh,
Did not. Well, low budget. At times like this, I wish Jason were here to help me. Okay, so anyway, this is the first clip we're gonna watch together, and I'm gonna slowly bring you down to speed. Notice that firstly, AHQ is at advantage. Yep, they are up 10-6 with a pretty good goal lead right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's 32.7. Not of a goal lead, sorry. They have a kill lead, and they're pushing out really deep, which is good. But the really important part is also knowing that TPA is actually, you know, still higher on farm. Mainly it's Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, freaking mad. 22 minutes, he's sitting at 203 already, and he is the fattest one on that team.
he's actually doing well. I think he's the only one positive so far.
Yeah, in the team, he's the only positive one, with BB just breaking even at 3-3. Alright, so we're gonna slowly watch this, and I'm gonna bring it down for you bit by bit. Okay, don't worry, I'll be pausing once in a while. Let's see how this works. I'm trying this new program. Okay, so firstly, you'll notice Jarvan just jumped in. Alright, they get the kill. They have a very nice cluster there for bullet time. And lastly, because Maokai Lil Boss was really weak this game, he got smashed. Now let's watch it again with pauses in between. Ta-da! Okay, so at this point in time, let's look at what is going on. I'll be using blue for the friendly plays, okay?
Blue and purple team.
Yep. Okay, so let's shift to this one so you do bigger scope of what to see. Alright. So firstly we'll notice where Jarvan is. Jarvan is right here. Alright. Wave opportunity. Normally it wouldn't be awesome to have Jarvan then like at somewhere in the middle, what MF in front. I know.
It's getting caught really easy.
Yeah, but there's Shen here as a protection,
No fear, Shen is
Yeah.
here.
So there is a line. Remember that Shen's taunt range is pretty good and it's extendable. No issues there. After that, just by a bit, they're gonna do something which is pretty prominent, I guess. It's how how tanks, they can just absorb one hit. Those shield tanks, especially like Shen, they allow you to get cheap shots into the tower. So let's watch slowly. Tank, bam! You saw that? Alright. So Shen went in, he threw it, he threw in his feint, took a free tower hit, and this is good coordination. MF went in for that one shot. Da-da-da. Free one shot. And this is always going to be effective for you as when you're pushing out those lanes. But this is the part of the game where actually they start to take advantage of it. Overall, they notice Kha'Zix and Tariq on this side. Jarvan is actually at a pretty good position to notice. Yeah, and I forgot to mention. Yeah, Nidalee is not with them at the moment.
What is
Stanley chooses to do the split push method and try to get some advantage.
But as you see here, it might just cost them the mid inhibitor.
Yeah, the 5v4, the good thing about the 5v4 for the side of AHQ really is the fact that they can go a hard on engage with good amounts of CC. Remember, their team comp really has this lockdown effect, especially with champs like TF. TF, a lot of people think he's just a poke champ, but really it's the low cooldown stuns.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, a good TF player like let's say Messiah, you'll always see them doing those low cooldown stun cards, and getting them under the turret is easy. You just go in for the stun, you can back off. You don't need to stay in that range.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
You just have a lot of leeway to play here, but the funny part here is that once they notice that TPA is not in a very good position, so just highlight for you first where they are. Tariq and Kha'Zix, they're clustered here, and later as I'm gonna just run it a bit, bam,
Ezreal
and then Ezreal, what you doing here, baby?
trying to sneak a cheap shot.
Yeah, he's trying to sneak a cheap shot, and Jarvan, he already has moved up into a very nice position, and this is when things start to turn sour. Because MF has already backed off after that cheap shot. TF is still in range for wildcards and poking. Shen also not too far away. Lulu of course will stay safe for a while, but she doesn't make any big plays at this point in time.
In fact, I think most of the Lulu plays this game are bad.
Yeah, most of the Lulu plays weren't fantastic except for I think the turret dives in bottom lane.
Yeah.
But aside from that, this one you won't see much of it. Okay, I'm gonna go one by one. Pause. They know this BB's out of position. Alright, they know this BB's out of position, and the magic. This is where the magic happens. 1, 2, 3, boom.
That was so fast.
Yeah, he flew in. They knew once you know that most of your champions are out of the position, your opponents, they spotted already. Kha'Zix and the Maokai sapling.
Separated.
Yeah, they're separated. So if that's the case, there is really not much disruption that is gonna happen if Jarvan tags straight onto BB. Who else is there in the team? Not much. It's just gonna be Ezreal and at most Tariq.
Tariq is right next to Ezreal at the moment.
But that's not gonna be an issue, you see, for Jarvan to go in. Alright? That is the first thing that they capitalize on, which is always a great thing, despite getting hit by the Void Spike here. Alright.
Again with the Void Spike.
Yeah, the Void Spike is really strong, and we'll be talking later a bit about Kha'Zix. But in the meantime, let's focus on this team fight. Bam, he goes in, and this is where
Shen flash over and do it.
no, but what they did was actually just wait for the moment. It was really quite perfect in the sense that when Jarvan jumped over, MF was already prepared to launch their ultimate. TPA's arrow though was jumping into the ultimate.
To try and save Ezreal by
To try to
knocking
save
Jarvan
Ezreal.
away.
Exactly, to try to save Ezreal. The beauty of it is that really the lockdown comp you have, TF didn't have to do much. Mostly it was just Jarvan going in and being a man, and MF's damage being skyrocketing super high.
And DPS folly for clustering that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about MF. Even if Ezreal Arcane shifts out of the blah 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 the bullet time, you know, you're still gonna do a significant amount of damage and armor shred.
Yeah.
Not to mention Jarvan himself has the armor shred.
Yeah.
It totally just smashes these low armor champs like Ezreal who are just dealing damage. Of course, needless to say, Lil Ball's pretty sad. He tried to go to the back line without any DPS.
Of course, you just
And
have to meat.
yeah, he wasn't doing very well this game. Right now at this point he's 0-3-3 and I think he barely just got Warmocks, which is high armor, I mean high health, high HP, but just no stats. Yeah, you just have no other stats from it.
I guess with this, you depend on your ultimate for negation. And
Yeah.
your passive to heal up, but that's about it.
That's about it. And he just got to put it nicely raped. Yeah, he just got raped. And this was the game changer and the first inhibitor of the game.
So what happens here already? Ezreal has been taken out along with Maokai.
Along with Maokai, yeah.
So one damager and one mid shield gone.
And we'll look at this. There was actually it was pretty risky play, I would say, because Lulu's ultimate was down.
Oh,
She
no.
did have that wild growth to kind of make the turret dive easier, but they recognized that they could get the carry, the big damager out of the way, and that's exactly what they did.
And I guess they were also very sure that Nidalee couldn't port back within a second to help them.
Yes, they were willing to trade that second top lane turret of their own for this inhibitor, which is a choice which you have to make sometimes. It's not the easiest of choices, but in this case they knew that if they could get at least one of the champions out, the high DPSs, including Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix had backed off, which was strange because the find out that when the engage occurred,
MF was alone behind.
yeah, MF was alone behind, and Kha'Zix could have jumped at the back. I think he was just worried that she did have the TF was still at the back waiting. The stun card was not popped at all during that fight until Maokai came in.
Yes, that's right.
So some things to just think about there for a moment. This was the funny thing is still that after getting this turret, I think they barely managed to even out the goal score. Bam, yeah, 34.5 to 34.7.
But I guess it's always worth it to get an inhibitor over losing a tower.
It is.
Passive pressure on lane all the time.
Yep.
And what's it to watch?
They went double warding. Alright, so things that we can look at this match from the pro standpoint of view is knowing how to capitalize on your engagers. Sometimes, yeah, okay, I know like I'm wearing a shirt on top, right? But I'm wearing my boxers below. Which, well, it's classic, well, it's classic home video.
Home businessman.
Home businessman
Home
scenario.
businessman. I'm having a meeting with my boss.
Yeah, and I'm wearing boxers.
Boxes below, shirt on top.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this right here. If you see this.
Yeah, they
This
have.
is just in case Kha'Zix decided to jump in.
Yeah, correct.
And, well, that's good planning anyway.
Yeah, I mean the pink wards now have become really common in season 3. Your supports can afford to just keep buying pink wards rather than going for the green ones.
Because green ones are free.
Yeah, because green ones are free, and the onus is really up to the other laners to pick up those green wards to help around the map. While the Ruby Sightstone does provide a lot. I mean, the earlier you buy it, the more you plant, the higher utility you get from
In
it.
fact, I wouldn't call it an option for them to buy
Yeah.
the green wards now. I think every laner should bring a ward with them everywhere. They
Yeah,
can.
every laner needs to get that green ward, but supports have the, I guess you'd say the task of getting those pink wards out when you're starting to roam the game.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's more cost efficient for them with the increased ambient goal.
And most probably because now Oracles has become has a lifespan.
Yeah, the Oracle's lifespan. So it kind of seems like a bit of a decision making tool. Well, Oracles is great if you know you want to go on the aggression.
Yeah.
I really feel that pink is more defensive, likewise, but Oracles gives you that chance to show that you want to push out and you want to clear them from actually entering their own jungle.
That's right.
You don't really need that Oracle in your own defensive situations
No.
because you're wasting money. If you're on defensive, means you have a chance of dying.
And most of the time, you'll be probably defending base or
Yes.
maybe roaming around close to maybe just your side of the map, and there's not gonna be much chance for you to roam around if you're being pushed in. You know, so yeah.
The oracles doesn't help you. What's
you don't
that?
fully utilize it.
Yeah,
really.
and you don't get your cash back.
Yeah,
you don't get your cash back. Yeah.
You can't kill maybe 4 or 5 wards and then be happy about it after
Right. Not anymore at least.
that.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why this pink ward is here, very well placed, knowing that Kha'Zix can jump into the fray. He was standing on this side for the longest period of time.
That's right, though.
Yeah, he was standing the longest
I
period
guess
of time.
he really was waiting for an opportunity to jump on one of those
Right.
species.
Exactly. Okay, so this was when HQ actually made an advantage for themselves. The real question though, wait, question first. Sorry.
Why so peaceful?
Elliot, will you do SGS versus BKT? I guess if the match is really interesting, sure, why not? But yesterday's SGS BKT match was pretty much
Fantastic.
yeah, it wasn't that fantastic. I think. Where damn it, is that Darren? Is it Darren using our account?
Darren. Roger, Darren.
Anyway, the match was okay. I remember at the start, SGS was down 0-3, and then after which, Hi just started raping. He got his quadra.
Oh yeah, that was.
He has got his quadra. So
Seriously?
yeah,
Seriously?
seriously,
Seriously.
I like this guy in the chat. Seriously.
Seriously.
But yeah, if the match is interesting enough, the main reason we started the show is not really to just analyze all the games. Our real plan is to try to find a way to bring out some value in the plays themselves, and to teach everyone what are the merits of these fights, what you can take out of it.
Yeah.
So
We're not doing full team games.
yeah, we're not doing full team
We're
games.
always gonna pick out specific spots that we think made or break
The game,
broke,
yeah.
Made or broke.
Made or broke the game. Yeah.
Made or broke the game. made or broke
English
the game.
wise, made or broke.
Made
Yeah.
or broke the game, and yeah. And
Yeah.
we'll go into full details about everything in there. And
Yep.
That's just exactly what we're doing. now.
Okay. Yep. So that was the start of the whole fight for AHQ, and they, considering that's 22 minutes, this is pretty good for them.
Yeah. Normally 22 minutes, you probably be finishing your second item. Maybe your first core and then your second advanced item. And normally maybe first to second tower down. Getting an inhib is pretty big for
It's pretty good, and they were winning that fight 4v5 though, which is a bit worrying, because Nidalee does bring a lot to the table, and it's Stanley's it's very hybrid Nidalee.
Yeah, no, he was playing AD Nidalee, I think.
AD style, but with Frostborn Gauntlet. So Frostborn actually gives you a lot of damage
That's right.
in both physical and magic wise.
Going for more utility.
Yeah,
build
it's more
maybe.
utility build, very split push kind of
definitely
tactic.
very split push.
All right, so where did it actually start to turn wrong for TPA, and how did AHQ dub up? You know, I would have thought that if you get that mid inhibitor down, and you start really pressuring that Nidalee lane, you go up top, you go deep on her,
You push her
and
back.
you push her back, and not allow her to do that split push. You should be able to counteract it easily. In fact, because you have Shen on your team, you can send 4 top, and Shen to just go and
Shen can be your Nidalee.
yeah, Shen can be your Nidalee in the bottom lane. But they wanted to get Baron, and this is what happened. All right, we're gonna watch the clip one time first, and see how it actually happened.
My mama said never go and hunt worms.
Never hunt worms.
Yeah, I guess this is what happened.
Okay, so this is the fight. Somewhere around 28 minutes into the game. So by then, Inhibitor had already respawned. Seeing that, they chose a very bad time to actually get to that stage. But never mind. Let's watch this and notice how things change for them. All right.
Might just go for that Baron.
That Kha'Zix, especially once Kha'Zix shows
They've been
his face,
spotted and they know
which he
what's
already
going on.
Yeah,
has, I
and
think
the
he
best part is
might
that
see
BB
some
actually
goals.
dubbed as well.
Standing here
Oh, look at that. Lulu taking so much damage.
Lulu took a lot, and BB was actually getting hit by Baron. He was forced to flash across the wall. They managed to lock down the lead, which was a fantastic thing, popping the Chevaliers and popping that gate. Okay, so this is the part where things start to turn sour. Alright, okay, let's just watch finish first, then after that, later we're going into that. TF goes across the wall, and Bullet Time does absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Artie, what did you do?
And they kind of lost this one. They lost that fight. MF was low. Lulu was also down for the count. And Kha'Zix wasn't even present there. Well, predominantly he wasn't doing much in that fight. There were no pokes, no void spikes. Mainly the damage was not from them at all. And now TPA capitalizes on that with the Baron.
Counter Baron.
Yeah, they got counter Baron.
Counter Baron. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. And they can't do much about it.
Oh.
And this is another judgment error. Really, it's going in for the fight after things are done.
Yeah.
They were low. They were low already.
Adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah. And
They
could have turned it around, seeing that the damage was good. But Kha'Zix here really game changing in terms of his damage just now.
This is jumping all over the place.
Yeah, Kha'Zix has that crazy lead.
It's an annoying cockroach on your wall, man.
Yeah. Okay, so that I know there's a very long scene, but let's go back. Let's go. Why did I thumb myself down? Let's go back and look at it play by play. Okay, look at it play by play.
Alright, here we go.
Okay, bushwhacks all around first. Very easy if I show you guys this one. Okay, so we've seen some bushwhacks here.
Use your pen, man. Use your pen.
Yeah, I use my pen. Okay. It's pink.
Oh, pink.
Pink is good.
Pink is good.
Okay, so firstly, we know it's bushwhacks. One bushwhack here, and later Tariq is going to plant a ward here, right on top. Okay.
Draw the ward differently.
Okay, I draw the ward.
Give it like a coconut tree.
Okay, I'll give it like a. Okay, it looks like a ward now. Okay, so he's going to play and
Oh,
boom, the
it's so
ward.
stupid.
Yeah, and then the ward goes there. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good idea always. Remember before, never face track lah. Never face track. First important thing, never face track. But my only issue here is that he was already in the dark with planting this ward, and with knowing that your opponents are going to be at Baron, there is a chance that you've already been spotted, and that might be a ward that is looking right at you.
And with a composition in your enemy team like TF and
yeah,
Mark
with
and
TF and
Jarvan.
Shen and Jarvan, there is always this nasty chance that you will get punished for doing such things unless you move in a squadron.
Exactly. Like guys, I'm just gonna move ahead first and plant a ward. I think I'll be fine. And
Yeah.
then the moment you step a distance away, boom, you get gated, and then that's it. You're dead. Stun card for die.
My view of Dinter, I mean TPA's new support, isn't really that awesome yet. I think he doesn't make fantastic calls, and that's why BB and him are suffering in that bottom lane most of the time when they play AD support.
Yeah, maybe.
I've not seen something phenomenal coming up from him yet. But yeah, I mean that's just me lah. Oh, I forgot to mention at the start of the show. All views expressed by Josh and I are just opinions. Yeah, because I don't expect everyone to agree with us all the time on these things. But but what the hell lah?
You can choose to believe me.
Yeah, you can choose to believe
if
us.
you think you'll change your life for better, then yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean it's just something which we want to share with you guys. Anyway, okay, back to the fight. So Dinter is still there. BB pokes it out.
They didn't really start Baron, but it's because
Yeah, BB poked the Baron, and this is when things start to go a bit sour. Nearly went really low. The gate. Okay, so firstly the gate. What does gate do for you? It gives you vision of everyone. So they obviously knew that Kha'Zix was at the bottom lane. See, they could have spotted Kha'Zix right here, the dot. Right. Kha'Zix is right there, and he's not gonna be moving for some time. Only when the gate pops up and they realize he's in trouble, notice Kha'Zix, he will start moving up.
There's a second layer of fog though.
Alright, yeah, there is a second layer of fog, but you'll always be able to see him because of Destiny. Right, and this is when things look a bit strange. Lulu is low.
There's MF too.
MF is still pretty okay.
Both 50% or below.
Yeah, and this is when the crazy happens. Okay, we're gonna watch Ardy go across the wall with gate, which I think was a bad choice. He could have moved into this brush right here to kind of cut them out. He knew definitely the distance is good enough. You could have come in here, or you could have cut them off somewhere here, and sandwich them in. Wouldn't have been a big issue, I think. he had the Shen ultimate on him, means that whoever he potted, Shen would have probably followed him through.
That was the worst part.
Yeah, it could have been a 2-3 sandwich, you know, the two-prong attack.
He brought along.
He brought Shen along with him.
Important engages for a joyride to the top lane.
Yeah, and this is when things go all wrong. So I already make a big derp here. The issue I feel sometimes is that when players go in for these calls, you as a squishy especially, you might not feel very safe.
Exactly.
But in a 4v4 situation, right? Sorry, it's going to be a 2-on-2. It's going to be this way. Because 3-on-2. Shen just potted them, which would have been a big advantage if they just sandwiched.
Yeah, it would be okay if he potted right into
this brush as well.
This brush here, because Shen was going along with him.
Yeah.
And he'd be able to soak up anything that would be directed at TF eventually.
Exactly. The stun card was already locked in, and that could have easily helped you lock down that Ezreal, which was really the only DPSer there.
Probably the only target you want to be getting right here.
Yeah,
right
right now.
BB.
Yeah, which is BB, because Kha'Zix isn't there, and they know that.
And
they know that.
See that happen.
Yeah, and they know that.
Destiny.
So it really just a big loss overall, because the true shot barrage. Well, let's see the spear. That spear. That spear over here hits MF right in the face, and true shot barrage is already charging up. So another.
I'd say good coordination.
I would say, yeah, it was just really good, and MF's ultimate came out at just it's a desperation move. Really a desperation move to kind of get to back off.
I wouldn't like to. Actually, normally I would never use MF's ultimate to push people back.
Yeah.
If there's no one in front there to hold them there, it's an invitation for them to come to you.
Yes, very much so.
So I really have no idea.
You need the front move. It's a panic button move, and without that frontliner, you are right. MF is one of those champions which doesn't have that same amount of survivability by herself. She doesn't have very great kite mechanics.
She doesn't have a repositioner.
Yeah, there's a repositioner. Little kite mechanics, because that make it rain is really small, and slow at level 1 is like 15%. How much are you gonna?
Lackluster.
It's very There's a lot more wanting from that.
To the
slow.
point where I don't even add a skill point to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a one-hit wonder to me.
It doesn't even feel like worth that one skill point. So yeah, and this is when things turn sour. They go in for no damage, so ults have been burned. The one that's left is Cataclysm, but Cataclysm is in essence a chain sort of ultimate. You don't use it alone to just make plays.
No.
You need it with other people in the vicinity to put their skills in the pit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Without it, you just feel meh. Not reach much of a slam dunk.
Maybe it's just damage and that's it.
Exactly. So I guess that's one of the bigger issues here in that fight, and it caused them to lose. But it was not over yet. It was not over yet. We're still gonna see why they choose to re-engage. They try to go in to steal the Baron, which I think is a call which is hard to make as well. But in a situation where you are supposedly winning, I think there is no real need to just sacrifice yourself for that Baron. Yeah.
Especially if you're one down.
Yeah, you were already down for the count. You didn't have your ultimates.
Ults were down. Health was low. The only one that were healthy were your tanks, Jarvan and Shen.
Yeah.
But your deeps itself were just really hurting.
Exactly, and that's why Kha'Zix had the opportunity to go right to the back, not being too afraid. He could instantly burst down maybe anyone
except for the tanks.
Yeah, except for the tanks, but you don't care about tanks. You kill the DPS, you get the tanks eventually.
Which is why RT died instantly. Just now, you could see. But then again, we have to note that BB also died instantly.
Yes.
So it was by Shen, right? I think it was a pretty good call.
Yeah, it's a pretty good call by Shen to grab that. But the issue with Kha'Zix really, and we're gonna move into that right now.
If you leave him alone, he's gonna beat up the rest of your team. Really.
Yeah. So now let's move to the next section of this. I know we stretched quite a bit of time, and I didn't expect it to be this long.
I thought it was 10 minutes long.
I thought it was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I'm hungry right now.
I'm hungry too. But we're gonna talk a bit about the new state of the game, and what we think is really strong and prominent to talk about, especially since the OGN Olympus Champion Winter Games, the old 2012, 2013 ones, just finished, and some big results came out from that. Basically, we saw the rise of Kayle and Kha'Zix. It was very beast, and I really like watching OGN. They have some of the most experimental stuff the double exhaust bottom lanes. You are seeing Rise make a return in the mid lane.
Actually, for double exhaust bottoms, it's because there are a lot of aggressive.
There's a lot of aggression.
A lot of aggressive supports appearing.
Yes, there are.
So you can't like just close one eye to the damage now.
Yep.
So maybe that's why double exhaust, or maybe not. You know, it's just speculation.
It's just there's a lot of math involved, which we hope to do in the next few weeks.
Yeah, the stats and the math is something that I really hope we could do.
Yeah, we'll try to mention that soon. All right, so firstly, we're going to talk about the rise of Kayle and Kha'Zix. Now, these two champs banned in almost every game that I'm looking at all the Azubu Frost and Azubu Blaze games. It's either ban or pick Kayle and Kha'Zix. I mean, never in the same game, obviously. But these guys have always, if you don't ban any of them, someone's gonna pick it because they're so strong. Yeah, they're so strong. And one of the things I want to attribute, especially Kayle to, is really the itemization and the way mids have been. The mid meta has been changing to a bit of a bruiser comp, having your AD casters in mid. Kayle is really great in playing in those lanes simply because you don't need a heavy amount of itemization at the start to do well.
And I'd say her ultimate is the ultimate burst counter.
Yeah, it's a straight up counter. Twice. Yeah, it's the ultimate counter. Ultimate counter. It's just that good, lah. It's just that good. And really, that's why I highlighted Rageblade here. Rageblade, what can I say about it, man? It's a fantastic item.
It makes you strong in your opponent's rage.
Yeah, it's been changed by quite a bit. It's been given this new search-like passive.
Incredible passive, really.
And it's going to be very underrated now, but I can see why, because only Kayle and I think maybe Jax they really like Rageblade.
Yeah, it works so well on them.
So the stats wise, what Rageblade gives you is you pay 2.6k gold for it. 2.6k or 2.5? I think you pay 2.6. Yeah, you pay 2.6k gold for the Rageblade. You get some AD, you get some AP. You get a passive that requires you to stack up.
Yeah, it's per spell cast
per attack. Yeah, so it's 32%. Yeah, for both. Yeah.
So
up to 32%.
I can say it stacks the stacks pretty fast.
Yeah, it stacks pretty fast. It helps itself stack up fast.
Yeah.
But the real baby, the real gem now is what they added. When you drop below 50%, you get 20% increased attack speed, 10% lifesteal and spell vamp, and it will last as long as your fight, as long as you're in combat.
I think 10 seconds. It'll just be there. The buff will be there for 10 seconds, unless you go back and combat again. Then it refreshes.
Yeah, it refreshes the timer again.
So basically, if you get into a big fight with any guy in your lane and you drop below 50% health, and then you beat the crap out of him and he runs away, you can actually stay in lane with that buff all the time, because in the time where it takes for the minions to come, 10 seconds is more enough to keep that buff up all the time.
You can use it for a very long period of time to sustain in the fights, which is really, 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 really good. Because the reason why I put the 3 items there, Guinsoo's, Nashor's, and Milady, a lot of people, especially on Reddit, they've been talking about the comparison of these 3 items. Cost-wise, they are within the same range. They're within the same total cost price range.
Rageblade and Milady's, right?
Rageblade, Nashor's Tooth, Milady's.
Yeah.
These 3 items, they give you quite the bang for your buck if you're playing Kayle.
Come on.
Yeah. No, I think he's talking about the stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, talking about the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the issue is, which do you get as Kayle these days?
Kayle.
What is the most optimal ones? And now we're going to throw in some math. Not a lot of math, some math. This is what happens when you get the art student to go and do League of Legends stuff, like an analysis. You get this. Guinsoo's Rageblade, very easy. It's not easy to build up. You take 2 big parts. You're taking the blasting one plus the pickaxe. So you're talking about bigger than 800 gold items.
Yep.
Hard to build up. Nashor's Tooth made of very small parts. You get Stinger, you get Codex. Those are very cheap items to build up into in terms of parts.
Yeah.
So you can always, if you're down for the count, you can itemize them quicker.
Like Stinger is what, 420.
420.
And then after that it's 435 and what's the other one? Component of
the Fairy Charm, which is 185. Yeah, it's super cheap. So you can easily build up to Nashor's Tooth with steady progression. You're never going to be at a lack of stats if you, let's say, are getting out-farmed or out-pushed in your lane. If you're getting shoved and you're missing CS. Well, Milady, on the other hand, also a very cheap item. If you look at Milady's, it's basically you just need Dagger, Amp Tome. Okay? But the issue with Milady's compared to the rest is that it has, I think, the lowest amount of stats, to say, raw stats, to say. You get 25 AP, 45% attack speed. It's pretty good. But the magic resist stacking, they have the shred, right? The basic attacks reduce enemies' magic resistance by 4 for 8 seconds.
So max of 28.
Max
for
28.
You guys who cannot calculate fast enough.
That'd be me.
Because I know that was one of us.
But the thing is that you don't have this. You need what 7 attacks on that guy.
Yeah.
You need basic attacks, and not just it's really just basic attacks. It can't be spells.
If you thought getting 3 procs of silver bolts was difficult.
Yeah, you need 7 on Miladies to kind of optimize it. But the good part of Miladies really is the fact that everyone benefits from it. Your whole team will be able to capitalize on magic resist shred.
That's right. So if I think we were discussing earlier, if you have junglers who are magic damage dependent.
Yeah.
Maokai.
If you have Maokai, you have Evelyn.
Skarner actually.
Even Skarner,
right?
yeah.
You know, I guess maybe you boost your overall damage, not just from yourself, but also for him.
Yeah.
So maybe that
there is some idea of using it in those double AP comps where you have a top laner AP, you have a mid laner AP. Milady seems like a very viable choice in magic resist shredding. I mean, you pay cheaper. It's the cheapest of them all. 2035 total amount of gold. The issue is, and now because of its new passive, that you get that 10% AP bonus per hit. You get a 10% AP bonus per hit. It does help you scale in a small way. Later on, you know. Not to mention that Kayle by herself already shreds those armor and magic resist.
3% for 5 hits.
Yeah, you can go up to 15% basically.
15%.
So with
the new calculations of penetration, you know.
With new calculations of penetration,
apply the hurt.
That Miladies is gonna help you with that double AP. However, I don't calculating with let's say defensive wise, or if you don't have that double AP combo, or you don't have the AP jungler, then Miladies just kind of seems not as worth it for that raw stats. 25 AP, 45% attack speed.
Come on, okay, let's just compare this to other on-hit armor / resistance slashing items, like Black Cleaver, for example.
Yeah.
That's what, 4 hits?
You get 4 hits, you get 25% off. And that makes a bigger difference than Miladies.
I mean, of course, the cost of the item is more, which could explain better stats, but it really takes too long to ramp up the full potential of this item. So
if it were me, Miladies would seem like I was saying, so the circumstances is that double AP comp or that AP jungler. It does help in the laning phase quite a bit if you're going to pressure the person out who's a squishy. Yep.
But I do find something useful in this page right here about Warwick.
Oh yeah, Warwick loves Miladies.
I mean, come on, his ultimate itself just does.
Okay, so then how about Guinsoo's Rage Blade? Now it is the most expensive item, sitting at 2.6k gold. But the best part, it synergizes with Kayle so well. It's because of the unique passive. The fact that when you drop and you gain that AS, Lifesteal, and Spell Vamp. As Kayle, when you have that, you drop below really low and you just pop the ultimate. You're gonna give yourself invulnerability, plus you're just gonna keep sucking back a good amount of health.
Most definitely.
Now, and the best part about Rage Blade, let's compare it to Nash's Tooth, is that if you manage to get all 8 stacks of if we put it there, I think if you put it there,
you can't see.
Oh no, you can. Okay, if you get full stacks of Rage Blade, you kind of outweigh what Nash's Tooth brings to the table. You beat the attack speed. You do gain slightly more ability power. You just don't get the cooldown and the mana regeneration from Nash's Tooth.
I would say not that big a stat difference actually.
It's not a very big stat difference. I would feel 20% cooldown. It's good because it allows you to get your Righteous Fury up almost 24/7.
For Kayle, I'd say.
But for Kayle, I'd rather have that survivability.
That's right.
Picking up from that Rage Blade itself. So yeah, just some food for thought for today, and hopefully it gives you a bit more informed choices of what to get when you are playing that Kayle be in the mid lane or the top lane. Yeah, I mean Kayle mid lane is fantastic these days. Like you get a lot of bang for your buck against other casters. Okay, and lastly, before we end the show, Kha'Zix. Ban Kha'Zix in all your games. He's super powerful at the moment. There is no reason not to.
I think so far the only champion in League of Legends that can defeat Kha'Zix is Bagon.
He's Bagon.
Yeah, good old Bagon, man.
Good old Bagon, because he's a Pokemon.
No, Bagon is in the spray.
I think the ban list is the best one for to
Ban
just kill.
list.
Yeah, kill. You want to defeat Kha'Zix? Go into the early game and press ban.
Yeah, that's probably even before the champions spawn.
Well, okay. We'll just give you a quick summary of why he's strong. Leap refresh is very powerful. It gives good amount of damage, great amount of mobility. Not even just good, it's great.
I think mostly what we see that evolved forms are always
Spikes and wings and ulti.
Q just doesn't cut
Q
it
doesn't cut it anymore because it scales so well already without the
Exactly.
evolve. We've seen that they just with black cleavers and stuff alone, you go in, you do about 500, 600 burst damage to an isolated target. And isolation is easy to do. So what I think they should do to help mitigate this is to make isolation harder. Give the range of isolation slightly less depth.
Or you know what they could just do? Because now champions and creeps, right, have a different isolation range.
Yeah.
It's much smaller for minions. So if the champ is standing a big distance away from the creeps or small distance, it doesn't matter because the creeps are dead.
Right.
But they should maybe increase the isolation range for minions too.
Okay.
So then maybe it'll be harder to get the isolation damage on someone in lane to bully him in lane.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see some changes to Kha'Zix in the near future. I'm very sure it will.
Yeah.
If OGN showed us anything, is that just don't give Kha'Zix to anyone.
Don't let anyone pick Kha'Zix. Or if you can, pick Kha'Zix yourself.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all for today. I know we overstretched a lot of the time. Hopefully next week we'll be doing the same cast, but we'll be doing something different. I'm going to experiment this for a few weeks just to see whether it kicks off. Join us next time when we will look at specifics. We'll be looking at item specifics and also probably some of the laning mechanics from some of the pro games out there. Alright, so till next time, I'm L.
I'm Josh.
And yeah, we're gonna upload to YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
I did this for you. Oh shit, but I didn't turn it off. Crap.